Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today. I hope it's been a long and interesting day for all of you. I am Rohit. That's my LinkedIn handle. You can connect with me. And I would also like to thank London's Calling for giving me this opportunity and all these sponsors, for organizing this wonderful event. Today I'm going to be talking about Salesforce Industries and basically, demystifying and unraveling all the mysteries around it. What was Vlocity, what's now Salesforce Industries, and it's also now called SFI. And coincidentally, this happens to be the first time that there is a talk on Salesforce Industries or Vlocity at London's Calling platform. So before we go further, a bit about myself. I've been in the Salesforce ecosystem for 13 years, working across both delivery and pre-sales. And last 5 years, I've been focusing on Salesforce Vlocity. I've literally seen the Vlocity product evolve, over the course of 5-6 years and seen very closely. And also, I have good experience across multiple CPQ tools. So your CloudSense, Aptus, which is now Conga, Oracle Big Machines, which is now, CPQ Cloud, and of course, Salesforce CPQ, which is Revenue Cloud. In addition to that, I've also, worked on many enterprise implementations. I'm a certified application system architect. And in my current role, I'm leading the Salesforce Industries Vlocity capability for Capgemini, apart from, of course, working as a lead program architect on senior implementations across. So this is how I have, structured the agenda for today's talk. I'm going to jump into introduction of Salesforce Industries. How did the evolution exactly happen from Vlocity to Salesforce Industries? Within the Salesforce Industries, what are the various clouds? You have some clouds which comes from Salesforce organically, and then Vlocity was always specializing in certain clouds, which are the Vlocity inherited clouds. Then I'm also going to talk about a typical industry cloud. How does the high-level architecture looks like under the hood? And within those high-level architecture, what are the components? And how are these components spread across various industry cloud? And finally, I'm also going to be talking about, why a customer and yourself should be going for Salesforce Industries with Salesforce to enhance the overall value proposition. And if you're interested, then what are the learning path and learning resources to supercharge your career in this space? So that's the evolution of Vlocity into Salesforce Industries. So if you have a look at it, and most of us already know this, that in 1980s, you had the era of databases. So you had Oracle databases. Then came in 1990s the on-prem CRM like Siebel, which was a client-server architecture. And then in 2000, you had the genesis of Salesforce, because it was more on cloud computing. But Salesforce originally always was on a horizontal CRM. It was never tailored for industry vertical. So in 2014, Vlocity was constituted as an organization which was specializing into 6 verticals. So you've got your communications, media and entertainment, energy utilities, insurance, health, and government, all built on a digital interaction platform in Vlocity, which is now acquired by Salesforce, and it's called Omni Studio. And Vlocity was different to the other apps in the sense that Vlocity's data model was always additive to Salesforce, unlike CloudSense and other CPQs and other App Exchange products which are native to Salesforce. By native, you exactly mean, they are on the Force.com platform, but they will have their own custom objects, whereas Vlocity respected the data model, and that meant the acquisition was always meant to happen, which actually did happen in 2020, and later during the year, it was rechristened as Salesforce Industries. So what does Salesforce Industries look like under the hood? So you had these 6 clouds, which I mentioned, from Vlocity, and then you had Salesforce clouds, some of them, which were more small managed App Exchange, unmanaged packages, like your consumer goods cloud, like manufacturing, retail, and now everything is industry clouds. So if you see there in that diagram, the Vlocity industry clouds, which came from Vlocity acquisition, are your communications, are your media, energy, utilities, and the public sector cloud, and financial services. And then you have your organic clouds like consumer goods, like manufacturing, like automotive. And what this actually gives now, if I'm a customer, if I'm a telecom customer, if I'm an energy provider, and I'm starting my B2B, B2C, any digital transformation, then then the best plan is to, each of these have their own individual licenses. So if you get the licenses, you get the data model, you get the pre-built processes, and you get a head start on your implementations right away, as opposed to starting on your core Salesforce and building custom debt and then, custom data model, and then it becomes difficult to manage. And I'm going to jump into some of those things in more detail. But effectively, these are your clouds. These are all purpose-built. And the best part about this is that Salesforce keeps on renewing their clouds over the course of every 3 months. You have 3 releases. So each of these clouds are constantly getting enriched with new industry processes. So if I give an example of communications cloud, so you have the big implementations going in British Telecom, in Virgin Media. So the different business processes are abstracted by the product team, and then they keep on, seeping it through into the new releases. So you're always, future-proofing your implementation, and you are constantly innovating. Same thing goes for energy vertical or your public sector. So what does the typical architecture look like? So this is a diagram which most of you should be able to correlate. So if you see, you've got your Salesforce Customer 360 platform right at the bottom. You've got your Sales Cloud, Service Cloud. So Salesforce Industries is on top of Salesforce. You need the core Salesforce platform. You need Sales Cloud. You need Service Cloud. And then you've got the industry icon there. And then if I talk about Omni Studio, so if you saw my slide before, I meant the digital interaction platform. So Omni Studio is a suite of digital engagement tools which allows you to build, digitally first and industry-specific tailored processes. And it has many more components like Omni scripts, which are similar to flows, but there are, more advantages. There are integration procedures, data raptors, which allow you to do extraction, transformation, loading, so you are able to do rapid integration. You have flex cards, which are more declarative in nature compared to, custom Lightning Web components. So the entire package is made in a way that you are able to, quickly deploy. The initial development time frame is less. And if we talk about a transformation journey, you need a well-oiled machine. So yes, Omni Studio is your building block. But that's not the entire Salesforce Industries. You have then something called as product catalog. So if I'm doing a customer transformation journey, starting from a customer acquisition all the way till contract generation, order process provisioning, you have something called industry CPQ, which is tailored for industry. It is more enhanced, more exhaustive than your revenue cloud, which is Steelbrick Salesforce CPQ. It has got its own contract lifecycle management, so you don't need to go for an Aptus or a Conga just to get that contract generation or digital signature piece around it. And of course, it goes all the way till order provisioning, so you've got industry order management, which does decomposition, orchestration, much more than what Salesforce OMS does. And the best part about the architecture is the response time. So you have a concept of digital commerce. It works on cache, and I don't want to make it too technical. So you're not always querying the data in the back end, and you are working on caching, and the response time, the user experience is that much more better. And on top of that, you have the industry cloud layer. So this is very generic industries cloud. Likewise, you could have an industry cloud for public sector. It will have its per public sector purpose-built industry processes. Likewise, you could have for communications cloud and energy utilities and consumer goods cloud. And then of course you've got your digital channels because you have external customers. So your distributors, your partners, your customers, and it's Omni device compliant. So how are these various architectural components spread across different clouds? So if you have a look at it, I have tried to cover most of the clouds here. So the common the common factor in all these clouds is Salesforce Core. So you need the Salesforce Core platform across these clouds. And then all of these clouds, with the exception of consumer goods cloud as we speak today, are using Omni Studio. So consumer goods cloud, it is also called CG cloud, is the only cloud which does not use Omni Studio today. Not to say that it won't, because Omni Studio is getting merged with core Salesforce, and it's a matter of time it will start having, but every other cloud is using Omni Studio. And then if we talk about industry CPQ, to do your product catalog, to do your pricing, to do your quoting, it is there in 3 of these velocity clouds, if I call it: communications, media and entertainment, energy and utilities. And why that being the case? Because effectively you are selling services. So it could be a telecom broadband services, or it could be energy, gas. The services changes, but the quoting process remains the same. And then you've got your industry order management, which goes hand in hand with CPQ. So it's there. But again, the common part is in all these clouds, you have an industry data model. So if you are starting a new implementation, yes, you can do on Sales Service Cloud and build custom data model, and it will take you that much more longer. You will build technical debt, and then you will build a lot of code on that object, and you will build a lot of test classes. You will keep on doing, technical debt over a period of time, wherein Salesforce is providing you as native. So you're going against, where the product is moving. So why should the customers be going for Salesforce Industries? What is the extra enhancement it gives you, compared to just Salesforce? So that's why I'm saying it's not why SFI over Salesforce, it's why SFI with Salesforce. So one of the main advantages is the agility part. Because with the tool set you have, most of the things are pre-built. With the Omni Studio capability, you are doing more configuration, less coding. So you're cutting down on your coding in a great way. And then everything you build, you are not making it for a different device. Let's say I'm an e-commerce customer. I don't need to write the same utility to be able to access from a different channel. I could just make it omni-channel, write once, leverage multiple times. So that is giving me faster deployment. I'm able to roll it out faster. In a typical Salesforce project, you do the deployment, you wait for, in a transformation project, 6 months to go live, whereas in Salesforce Industries, by the virtue of the components provided out of the box, you are that much able to roll out faster. So you could have short, small mass, minimum valuable products, MVPs, and the business adoption increases. And because of all of this, you are getting better predictability on your deployment. And so if you see, this is a nice time value comparison. So let's say if I'm a customer, I'm on my legacy, okay? So if I have to build something, I will go for Salesforce license, you need the base. And then if additionally you go for Salesforce Industries license for that cloud, for your industry, right up front, so you're getting a head start in your implementation. And the best part is Salesforce, as I mentioned, Salesforce Industries keeps on enhancing. They have 3 releases, spring, winter, and summer releases. So they keep on innovating new processes based on the implementations globally. So you don't have to do anything custom. They are provided out of the box, and that way you are, minimizing the implementation risk. You don't have to devise a technical custom solution on your own. It is coming out of the box. So that's the first reason. Second, this is again a comparative study. As I mentioned, so your design, development, implementation cost, they are getting reduced because of the nature of the platform. And it's not only the upfront development, it's also the deployment. You are able to deploy that much faster. You are not using custom components, and the ongoing maintenance also becomes less. So that way, over a course of, let's say 6 years, 7 years, your total cost of ownership will that much become lesser, and you are in a win-win position. All you are doing is you're paying for that extra industry cloud specific license, but then you are getting all the advantages, and you are, reaping the benefits from reusability as well. The third point that I want to highlight is, with the SFI platform, you are also getting industry processes specific to that industry, and you are able to leverage the same across multiple devices, multiple channels, and the innovations are constantly there from the platform. So you're not building it once and doing it multiple times. You are able to leverage. So the entire value is realized, business adoption is better, and you are able to do much more in less amount of time and achieve that much more for your end customers, as opposed to going the conventional, because it's always a build versus buy decision. Should I build on top of Sales Service Cloud? Should I build the custom objects? Should I build the classes? Should I then write a lot of code to test? Because every time you start building custom, then the existing functionality you need to test continuously, you write more code. Or should I go out of the box and I get more value realization and able to achieve that much more? So these are all from a platform perspective, but even this is a study which is done by the Salesforce Industry Customer Success team. Even as a partner, there are benefits to be relished here. So if we talk about, because you are able to do quicker deployments, you are able to go live that much more faster. So the resources that work in a typical Salesforce Industry project, you are able to do more high-end consulting, more design, more architecture-related work. And that way, you are not able to have as many developers. So overall, the average billing rate improves. And because you are able to do faster deployment, you are able to go live faster, the resource utilization that way is better. Because let's say if I'm doing a custom development, I've put all my resources for, let's say 7 months, they are just achieving the transformation vision for that customer. But now, if I do with Salesforce Industries, I get the license. Yes, I pay the incremental cost. And then I'm able to achieve whatever the customer was trying to achieve within a short amount of time. Then over the course of the duration which was planned earlier, I could do more for that customer. I can get better visibility to engage my team and utilize them to do 2 different projects, as opposed to just working in a body shopping manner. So that way your risk is also reduced. So based on this study, it is said that as a partner, there is a 10 to 14% more revenue uplift of your resources. So finally, if you're keen, and this is something which interests you, how you can get started in your Vlocity or let's say Salesforce Industries journey. So assuming you are already having a good experience on your core sales service cloud background. So typically, as I mentioned, you have two set of clouds. One is Vlocity clouds, one is the organic clouds. So if you are a consultant, then you should be doing an Omni Studio consultant certification, even though it says admin there. So technically, admin is not a prerequisite, but ideally you should be having admin to be able to appreciate the platform that much more. On the contrary, if you are a developer or if you are an architect, you should be going for an Omni Studio developer certification as a starting point. Once you've done these, and let's say your focus is communication, it's media, it's energy utilities, you should then be targeting to do industry CPQ certification. And I'm going to come to the Trailhead links for that. And after that, now Salesforce has come up with partner accreditations, and I'm coming with links for that also. So if you are a partner, you can do those, but if you're an end user, it's not currently there. So what Salesforce is saying, if you are getting onto a Salesforce Industries project, not only you should have these certifications, which is there for everybody on the Trailhead, but you should be having that domain experience. So you don't come blank with a horizontal knowledge of just Omni Studio tools, but not any industry specific knowledge. So all these accreditation, these are domain specific certification which Salesforce is now introduced, so that you are able to, do the design, architecture, and basically help customer achieve that vision. So this is about Vlocity clouds, but then if we talk about your Salesforce organic clouds, which is your health cloud, your consumer goods clouds, your manufacturing cloud, so you need Omni Studio for these also, but you don't need CPQ, you don't need order management. It is just Omni Studio, and these barring the consumer goods cloud, which is currently not on Omni Studio yet. In terms of how you can get going with these certifications, so if you're an end user, you're a partner, Trailhead is your place to go. As I mentioned, the starting certification is Omni Studio developer or consultant. You need to do either one of them, depending on what's your track, as I mentioned. And then if your focus is communications, media and entertainment, energy utilities, then you should be targeting industry CPQ. If your focus is apart from these three verticals, then this is not a mandate. But yes, you need Omni Studio. So these are all there on Trailhead. You can literally search with this link and find it. And this happens to be my last slide. So if you are then looking to also go to the next level, let's say industry focus certifications, which are more specific to the accreditation. So then you've got these accreditation, which is a learning journey. So for this, you need to be a partner. Basically, as an end user, you will not have access. So I put the QR codes, they will work, and I'm happy to provide more details. You can reach out to me. So basically, for each of these clouds, as you can see, you've got your insurance cloud, manufacturing cloud. You basically go to that link. There is a guided journey for there, and then that takes you to partner learning camp. And then in your partner learning camp, there is a curriculum you need to follow. These are conceptual exams. These are not technical exams. It basically judges your knowledge for that industry on Salesforce platform. Okay, these are not technical exam like a developer exam. And for each of these, you also have specific chatter groups. So what Salesforce has now come up with, so this is your main community group. Again, to access the community expert groups, you need to be a partner. But once you are and you are able to access it, then you can go to Salesforce Industry Partner Group. And for each of the cloud, depending on your focus area, there are specific expert groups. So whatever Salesforce is enhancing and they are introducing new things, they are directly putting there because nobody has direct access to the product team, right? So if there is something new which has come in energy utilities cloud, then you have to go to here. Of course, you can go through your alliance manager also, but alliance manager will have limited information. But if you're trying to do a solutioning, if you're working on a proposal, if you want to know the real deep thing about that, this is the place where you come, you collaborate, and then you start joining the latest releases which come. So you have these like spring release, summer release, and winter release. And then finally you go with the accredited professional. And these days Salesforce is doing a lot of Salesforce Days contest. So some of these exams, the voucher is quite easy to get. With that, I have wrapped up and we have 5-6 minutes. So please. So happy to take any questions.
So I have a question. So with
Yeah.
the partner learning camp,
Mm-hmm.
we can generate all of the different, we can use a simple demo or the industry demos to get access to all of the Vlocity clouds and also not Vlocity Salesforce Industry clouds.
Correct.
Right?
So you need to sign up for a partner org.
I already have it, yeah.
Okay, and then you just need to go to the partner learning camp. So if you want to take a link of this, the partner learning camp will take you there. Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah,
Because my question is more of and for the professional, accredited professional,
Mm-hmm.
do you need to complete something with the partner learning camp to get that, or that's a separate thing?
So you basically go to partner learning camp for each of these. Let's say if I talk about energy and utilities. So for energy and utilities, Salesforce has recently launched an accreditation, which is specific to energy utilities. So you go, take that name. If you go to these industries links, which I put in here, these will take you to the learning journey, but you need to basically copy that name of the curriculum, put it in the partner learning camp, and then it's a self-guided e-learning sort of module. And everything is redirected from partner learning camp. So partner learning camp is your starting place, basically.
So we're currently implementing EU Cloud,
Mm-hmm.
British Gas, and the sell of Salesforce Industries is really obvious. Lots of config, do things quickly, all that. In reality, there are quite a lot of issues with the product itself. So we've, 60 cases last year with Salesforce we had to raise.
Mm-hmm.
This year, quite a few blockers with the move from package to core.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my question is, have you experienced that in your implementations? And do you think the benefits yet outweigh the issues with the product?
Yeah, I do believe that. And it comes down to, when you started your energy cloud transformation journey, I'm assuming that was a few years back, and the product has evolved since then. So you would have, let's say, gone for some objects which were not there in the data model then, and created some bit of custom bespoke to accomplish, let's say, your transformation journey. And because the foundation was, let's say, on 30% custom, and then you're building on top of that, and now when the new releases come, so if I'm in your environment, let's say, the new releases, then it sorts of conflict. So of course there's a backward compatibility, but yeah, the benefits do outweigh, and you already have, let's say, energy utilities cloud, right? So it's that you have that license,
Yeah, I mean, I could talk to you about specific.
Sure.
I just want, I guess, to make the point that it's not being as pain-free as Salesforce might.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the important thing in any Salesforce industry project is your design. To nail the design, so the requirement, like in a typical, let's say, I'm not trying to demean any cloud, but if you're doing, let's say, a typical sales service custom development sort of project, yes, you will have a 3 weeks of, requirement gathering, due diligence, and let's start building, let's start rolling out in a waterfall manner. But in a Salesforce industry project, to understand the business processes, then for somebody not to just be certified, but understand the data model. Because you have these nice fancy licenses, but if you don't understand how they work, the design will start on a wrong foundation. And it is appreciated if somebody from the Salesforce professional services is also there in that exercise. Yes.
I think it's a really good point. You're definitely not going to get the best out of Salesforce Industries
unless
you leverage the product to its max.
Absolutely.
Go a different direction. So I think anyone who's implementing Salesforce Industries have that kind of expertise.
Yes.
It's really, really important.
Especially in your design phase. Yeah. Hi.
I'm Avi from Kataria. We developed a risk analysis solution for Salesforce Industries.
Mm-hmm.
For any design or planning that you want to do, we give you a full dependency map that you can see ahead of any change, where it's going to impact, where the change is going to influence. We would love to sit with you to show you that.
Sure.
How that can affect your day-to-day. It's unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only impact analysis solution for Salesforce Industries,
Mm-hmm.
and especially of what you said about the complexity, and we are able to develop companies working with that cloud.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ways for companies showing them.
Yeah. I'm happy to talk in detail. Yeah. Yes.
One more question.
No.
To learn a little bit more.
Still on time, yeah.
Omni Studio, that's a new concept for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Omni Studio the same across across all of the velocity and
Yes, yes.
it's all the same. So
Yes,
if I
so,
learn
so,
the
so, so
concept
it's as
of-
good as, your Apex triggers, your flows, your custom objects, and typical Salesforce development or config tools, they are same, right? So they are development tools. They are starting point so that you can do that much faster because it's more drag and drop, it's less of coding. Yeah, so it's agnostic across all clouds.
And I was thinking they also use record-based configurations.
Yes, yes, yes. So for every cloud, you have a base license. It is the data model of that cloud. Let's say I'm talking about Energy Utilities Cloud. So you have a base license. It's called ENU Growth License. You get Omni Studio, the data model, and basic processes. But then there's an advanced license, which gives you CPQ. And then there are add-ons depending on what is that you're trying to achieve. Yeah.
From
Yeah.
a UK perspective, do you find any of the specific industry clouds taking more and moving faster than others? Or
So I would say the communications cloud and the energy utilities, these are more fast moving. Public sector is still getting matured. When Salesforce had it, it was government cloud and it was akin to US mode, but now they've made it public sector solution. So this one is getting more matured, and that's why there is more push from the Salesforce teams, which we see in organizing various events. Whereas for communications, energy utilities, Salesforce is like, we've got these best products, so we are not going to do the selling. You need to come to us. Yeah, and consumer goods is also quite niche. There's an automotive cloud which came last year. Yeah.
And net zero cloud? Is that-
So net zero cloud is, I believe you can see here, right? So net zero cloud is sustainability. So this is something which is horizontal. It cuts across industry. It is not A specific. And if you need to do a net zero cloud, then it doesn't have to be an underlying industry cloud implementation. It's if your CIO and your CMO, if they are having that vision to achieve sustainability, are they willing to pay that license fee? Is there in their roadmap, or they do manage sustainability through others? So that use case is independent. It's not at a tangent. Yeah.
So what's going to happen to velocity?
So there's nothing called Velocity as of now. So it's been acquired. So that did happen.
To industries?
Yes.
So we're on velocity. Are
Okay.
you saying that we're going to have to move to insurance cloud?
It's the same. Yeah. So if I go to this slide of mine,
You might be an older release, but it's essentially the same.
Yeah, we just upgraded
Yeah.
2.5 years, 2.5 years behind.
so as you can see, this is insurance.
Yeah.
Now, so you must be on the old release, but if there's a new customer,
Up to date with the newest release.
exactly. So the
We have to move over
correct.
to velocity.
So they are still supporting it. So the insurance cloud now has got merged with the financial services cloud, which you see here.
But
so-
are they different licenses than velocity?
Because you are an existing implementation, I'm assuming pre-2020 when the acquisition happened,
Essentially.
you are reaping the benefits, but now you, as a new customer, I cannot get an insurance cloud license. It has to be a financial services license. So they are supporting existing customers, but they are not doing a new sell. So yeah, slowly it is getting merged, yeah.
So when
Yeah.
a customer purchases license,
Mhm.
as a implementation partner, do we get multiple sandboxes to build an environment, or?
Yeah, so when you get the license, you get the production environment, and then it's up to you spin as many dev sandboxes on that. Same thing with Sales Cloud, Service Cloud. This is no different. It comes with the pre-built data model, so you get those out of the box. And it's not only the new objects, but even on opportunity, order, your common objects, they have their own, fields which they've added. Yeah.
Can you go to like
Mm-hmm.
couple of slides ahead,
Yeah.
where you had that map of certification?
Okay.
Yeah. So here, industry CPQ. So is it meant only for developer line, or is it for consultant as well? All those communications, media.
Correct. It's for both. So long your focus is on communications, media, and energy utilities. If your end industry is out of these three, then industry CPQ is optional. Yeah. So this is more enhanced than your revenue cloud. Yeah. Revenue cloud is more used in manufacturing, discrete life sciences. This is more, yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for being patient.
Flowsum is an all-in-one DevSecOps security automation and data management solution for Salesforce that will help you regain full control of your Salesforce instance. With Flowsum, secure and accelerate your entire development lifecycle. Keep control of your data with data backup, recovery, archival, seeding, and more. And maintain cybersecurity posture while bringing governance to your platforms with an adaptive framework. Check out Flowsum on the Salesforce App Exchange to learn more or visit flowsum.com.